Alright, we're back today looking at a cool new deck, courtesy this time of a fellow YouTube content creator, Bosch and Roll, who has played a version of Ironcrag Pyromancer Grixis Control in I believe this is a modern video showcasing this deck. It was a really cool one and I enjoyed it. Make sure that you also check it out because that's a big inspiration for what I'm playing today. But yeah, this deck is built around Ironcrag Pyromancer, which we can see in a little bit of higher detail in the Arena client. 3 mana, 0/4. When you draw your second card each turn, both on yours and your opponent's, this deals 3 damage to any target. So this can actually go completely awry if not dealt with quickly, and we're going to hope to absolutely exploit that here today. So let's take a look at the first thing that's very important, which is how are we actually going to make sure that we draw 2 cards each turn? Well, it's actually very easy because there's a lot of cards that do that for us. Number 1, Flame of Anor. If you control a wizard, of which Ironcrag Pyromancer is one, as you cast this spell, you get to choose 2 of these, draw 2 cards, destroy an artifact, or deal 5 damage to a creature. Notably, this can take out a Shieldred, who is going to normally just absolutely ruin our strategy of drawing a bunch of cards. So that is a really good combo there, and something that was come up by a very good deck builder. So drawing 2 cards going to trigger our Ironcrag Pyromancer both on our turn and our opponent's turn, as this is an instant. The One Ring, another good one, same sort of deal. It's always just been a very strong card. We have it in Timeless, so it is in its original form. Historic, you'd have it in a slightly nerfed mode, even though I would say it's still worth it to have something like that in Historic. We are playing 2 Shieldreds, we are in Grixis, and it is a combo with the One Ring, so we are doing both of these things together, although the Shieldred is not necessarily as important, and once we do get our One Rings out, we will eventually find the Shieldreds, so that's great. Shieldred's Edict and Orcish Bowmasters to deal with some creatures in addition to Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push. Oh yeah, the other thing that can draw cards is Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards and put 2 on top. Triggers a Pyromancer in either ours or our opponent's turns. Snapcaster Mage is redundancy both for our removal, for our counter magic, and for these cards that are drawing us 2 cards each turn, so that will allow us to trigger the Ironcrag Pyromancer pretty much just any time, honestly. And then finally, we have some one-ofs here with Tishana's Tidebinder, something that can just nullify, like a Shieldred is generally important. Atraxa would be a problematic thing for us, things like this. So we want to make sure that Tidebinder is going to be around when possible. We have enough card draw that it's pretty likely that by the time in a late game where she's needed, we can find her. And then finally, the other card is Basilisk Collar, which is a very interesting card. If you play CEDH or EDH even, you'd sometimes see this as a fringe played card, where you might be playing something like, I'm remembering this creature but can't remember its name. There's a Naya legendary dinosaur that can end up being a machine gun of 1 damage if you kind of go infinite with it, and you attach Basilisk Collar to that, and even those 1 damages are just destroy target creature. So our Ironcrag Pyromancer can be slightly upgraded from a 3 damage into a I'm going to kill this thing, so from a Lightning Bolt into a Murder. That is pretty good to have, all for just 1 in our deck slots. Costs 1 mana, equips for 2. Pretty economical, honestly. We are playing a land base that really wants to thin the deck out, and other than that, things are pretty normal. So this is the Bosch and Roll inspired Ironcrag Control. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and comment. Check out his original video as well, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in round 1. Alright, here's round 1. We got the Basilisk Collar and Fatal Push. The One Ring is going to be our really only playable card in here. I think this is a definite mulligan. We'll see if opponent decides to keep or not. They do. We have double Ironcrag Pyromancer, but no way to trigger it. I think I am interested in keeping this, though. Shield is not immediately important to us. Go Polluted Delta here. We're going to crack immediately. Just look for our tapped lands. We will probably want to grab a Surveil land here. We'll go grab the Thundering Falls. Get going with that. Snapcaster Mage is good, but it's not something that draws 2 cards, and that is ultimately what we need to have right now. It's a Grazer. This could be This probably is something to do with Field of the Dead. Don't need to kill their Arboreal Grazer. We'll play a tapped Blood Crypt and say go. I think I still kill it at the end of this turn in case this is a natural order deck. Alright, hopefully that's not Spell Pierce in their hand. We will see. Nice. So here's Blood Crypt. I think we want to thin the deck here. Let's do that. We can find something that makes blue as well. Probably a Dimir would be nice. And here's Ironcrag Pyromancer, honestly just as a blocker right now. We're gonna kind of just chill for a sec, but once we find our first thing that draws that makes us mana, we kind of pop off. Opponent's also setting up over there. They're just looking for land drops. Cool, that's good for me. Another Blood Crypt. So sad. Enters tapped, put one of these in, and we say go. Now if my next card could be Brainstorm, a One Ring, or the third card being not Kolaghan's Command, but the other one, that would be great. They have Uro, that means this Sheoldred's Edict will eventually be good. They have 5 cards in grave. So this Uro probably comes back next turn, so I do need to hold up Sheoldred's Edict. There's Flame of Anor, that's the card I was missing. We shock in a Blood Crypt, that means Sheoldred's Edict plus Flame of Anor is possible. And actually, Flame of Anor itself does kill an Uro. Okay, also we can kill this Cavalier of Thorns, it's fine. We want to probably kill this before the milling happens, so let's go ahead and Flame of Anor. Target player draws 2 cards, deals 5 damage to target creature. We want to draw 2, we want to deal 5 to Cavalier. Trigger. Hurt and hurt them. Cavalier of Thorns gets to put something on top, which will then get milled. Perfect. They probably should decline this. Anyway, after this, looks like it's just going to be get a third Ironcrag Pyromancer out, because why not? I don't know if opponent wants to make a move here. They do actually target something. Is that... Did they target Uro? Oh, interesting. For some reason they want Uro on top. Okay, so they're going to do that, and then they have to decide if they want to mill Uro or not. Maybe they want to show me one less card. So Pact of Negation, Nexus of Fate, that's what we're doing here. They want to chain together Nexus of Fates. I wonder if they're on the side combo of Tamiyo that's trying to self-mill, or if they just want to use the Nexus of Fate for value after ramping hard. We will see. Luckily for our deck, if we're able to chain together the draw 2 spells, we can actually make use of their extra turns. So this is a deck that is not too unhappy to see that happen. Here's Polluted Delta, here's Pyromancer. We're just going to go ahead and find a Surveil land. I'll do that now. We'll take the Undercity Sewer. And just a Black Mana Source. We want something that draws us cards, because now every time we do that, we hit for 12. So it's actually a 2-turn clock. We could even have a 1-turn clock if we just go Brainstorm, Brainstorm. Of course, on my turn and then theirs. Nyx Bloom Ancient. Yikes. They'll be able to cast whatever they want here. I cannot interrupt them from making mana by edicting, as much as I'd like to. So something big comes down now. Oh my god, it's another Nyx Bloom Ancient. Alright, we have to murder one of these things. Non-token creature. Oh, they're just going for absolute insanity of mana. I mean, they would have over 100 mana if they had both of these in play. Okay. I mean, Orcish Bowmasters is a thing that exists. I'm happy to see it, but at the same time, it does not further my game plan. I would rather have one of my 12 draw card spells. Here's Uro. I unfortunately cannot do much about Uro anymore. They are able to take their other Uro back. Yikes, this is going to be tough. Just hope that this last card doesn't draw them much. So I think Uro's coming back from the graveyard. Yep. At least it only represents one card that they get to see that's new, and I need to make sure that I actually Orcish Bowmasters in time. We will kill the Nyx Bloom Ancient. We'll see if their last card's Pact of Negation. Or Veil of Summer, I guess. Divide by 0. Oh, okay, they put back the Nyx Bloom Ancient. That makes sense. This fizzles my Orcish Bowmasters plus my Lightning Bolt. That was actually pretty good. And now Mascot Exhibition, they just want to make a bunch of creatures. That's okay. We do get a second Bowmasters trigger, so I will get my body. I mean, this game can go either way depending on if I draw my draw card spells. Here comes Nyx Bloom Ancient again. They still just have 9 mana because why not? There goes Mascot Exhibition as well. Floating 2, and finally that's the end of their turn. This is a big draw. This kind of makes or breaks the game. That's a Brainstorm, baby. Let's get it. Alright. We are about to eat their board. Let's go. We want to put 1/2 back in the library, or do I want to have the One Ring? I think I'd rather have the One Ring. Is that true? Well, I could Flame of Anor. Yeah, I think I want to keep Flame of Anor. We go like this. I want the One Ring to be drawn next turn. Bang, bang, bang. So we will kill 1, 2, or well, 1 and 2 creatures. Then on their turn, we can probably kill Uro plus these 2 things. Cool. No attacks necessary end turn. We'll wait for combat here, see if they Legend Rule their Uro or do something weird. Hopefully this is just one mid-range card. They can attack. We'll wait till they attack and then do something here. We will Flame of Anor. Target player draws 2 cards, deal 5 to a creature, target me, target a creature. And then I guess we'll just wipe the board from here. Or no, Uro's already attacked and they have another in the graveyard. We can just leave it be. I'll chump block with the little 1/1, which will then become a 2/2. And we can actually okay, sure. We'll do this. 1, 2, 3. And then now we want to make sure to Bowmasters before they do their Uro thing. Okay, one of these Ironcrags did not have to hit this 2/1. Bowmasters could have done it. Unfortunate sequencing there. Could have been a slight bit more efficient, but I think we've cleaned up the board enough that we should survive. We will draw once with the One Ring. Possibly hitting a draw spell on our own turn would be nice. Trigger, trigger. Just go to face. 3, 4. We're pretty close to being able to just eat these Uros. So I think I just take 6. We could die to something wild like a... Well, what's the 8 mana spell? Cyclonic Rift? That seems like a thing that they might play. Memory Deluge does get around my Bowmasters, which is sad. They can cast it again. Yeah, there goes Nexus of Fate. This is where things kind of get bad for us. We are going to start chump blocking with this. We can ignore the Uro damage for all time if it comes down to it. Actually, now I do trade with Uro, which is convenient. 1, 2. See if they send something back to my hand here. Nope, we will just get our trade. Memory Deluge again. They are getting close to that point where they can start taking infinite turns. We do not lose to a Uro infinite turn loop. Here we go again. They'll play another Uro probably. No, they actually don't even bother. So they're just digging for whatever wins them the game. Deal some damage to face. We do have enough visibility here. Yep, there's another Nexus of Fate that can go on top of their library when this Cavalier dies. We just have to do a good job of killing their stuff with the Pyromancers. This One Ring's going to be super good against their next Nexus of Fate loop. We just have to hope that they don't kill me before my next turn. Haven't seen any counterspells yet. Looks like it's all just proactivity. Well, there's the Pact of Negation, I guess. Here comes Uro. They draw. We can probably just put these towards the face. I don't think there's going to be any sort of attacking situation. They're at 7 life still. Just hanging on. Field Trip plus Learn with 4 mana left. Introduction to Prophecy. Surprisingly not Introduction to Annihilation, which I think is pretty standard in Learn sideboards. Alright, so it is what it is. It looks like we are going to get our turn back here. A lot of cards in our deck allow us to get out of the situation, including the card that we have right now in our hand, the One Ring. Alright, we hope for no Pact of Negation. Nice. Alright, we have protection. We'll put this in untapped. Do not need to bother attacking. This one draw is unlikely to get us a second instance of Iron Crags, that is. Alright, so this turn they can do as much as they want, but they cannot kill me. Do not care. We will eat the Uro. Make them spend their graveyard. Well, we may as well take this block. Force them to exile some more cards if they want to have an Uro on the battlefield. They always could have Legend Ruled if they wanted to, so it's not like I'm giving them any more options. Looks like they will actually put in another Uro here. And we will continue to slowly pad their life total in the opposite direction, making sure that this Uro doesn't get too out of control, although they are gaining 1 net life every time this Uro does its thing. Cool, so we'll take our 1 ring draw here and hopefully be able to kill them before they can kill us. It's an Orcish Bowmasters, which we will go ahead and play. There was some priority held there. I think that's on Memory Deluge. We have an 11-5. Or an 11-11, I guess. We go to 6 here. Flame of Venor is huge. I think we draw the cards now first, and then I think we just go straight to face. Basilisk Collar is cool. These are just going to go straight to face. That is 9 damage. We should be able to win in our next untap. I have to play around them finding a Pact of Negation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have enough to exactly Basilisk Collar in these other two spells. Actually, I think that's really good. Now that I think about it. They are thinking. Let's put this on one of the Pyromancers. See what they'd like to do here. We'll pass. And that lifelink is going to be relevant for us. So it's Nexus. Yeah, if they ever tap out, I can kill. I just need them to tap out on their turn, not on a turn that I've already used my Ironcrag Pyromancers. They have seen so many cards of their deck. These are almost likely to be just Nexus of Fates. So I just need to wait for a turn where they put everything into just casting more return spells. I gotta be really careful here. We'll let them attack. We just absolutely eat Cavalier of Thorns, but they want to get something back here. And do I just chump here? I think I chump. We don't want them getting a Nyx Bloom Ancient back. Alright, let's see how much mana they use here at their end step. Nexus of Fate number 1. They have some Memory Deluges to use too. Memory Deluge number 2, they're holding up 5 mana. I mean, if they have Pact of Negation, they have Pact of Negation, right? Will they play anything else? Okay, so that is them tapping out. Let's attempt to kill. Here is Lightning Bolt to face, checking for any interaction. It looks like they don't have it, so we'll go target player draws 2 cards, deal 5 damage to target creature. We will target me, target their creature, and it looks like we've drawn our 2 spells, or 2 cards per turn. They get their Cavalier trigger, but we get to deal 9 damage to face, and they will have to somehow stop one or more of those triggers. Alright, that might be it.
Oh my gosh, wow. That was, if anything, a grueling battle. I'm not sure we'll see the likes of anything like that for the rest of these 4 games, but an amazing round 1 that we ended up coming out on top of. Boy, did this deck really show that it can grind. You know, just chaining one draw 2 to another was completely a viable strategy. Really excited with this deck to see the last 4 games of this series, and overall really happy with it. Let's hop into round 2. Okay, here we go. This is round 2. I don't think I've ever seen a triple One Ring hand do well, so we're mulliganing that one, and we will definitely, I think, take this one. We do have the 1/1 ring, which is great, and I have to decide if I want Shieldred or Basilisk Collar here. I think that'll get rid of the Shieldred. 1 ring can help find Shieldred, and then Basilisk Collar is pretty good on an Ironcrag Pyromancer for sure. I want to make sure that we have the ability to Fatal Push. Opponent has black-white for Misery's Shadow. Well, that is very easy to kill with Fatal Push, which is great for us. I think that... And maybe we just go Bloodstained Mire, play a Basilisk Collar, hold up Fatal Push. One Ring gets started pretty quickly here. Helia the Sun Crowned. Let's go ahead and Bloodstained Mire here. And what do we want to take here? I guess we can take a Surveil land. What colors do we want? We would like to produce red, I'd say. We'll Surveil here and take 2 damage. I think Snapcaster Mage is going to be really strong. Take my turn. So it's not super important to play Ironcrag just yet, but I think that it's a good blocker. We'll hang it out here, see if the opponent wants to let us have it. Next turn we go 1 ring and start getting that set up. Okay, well we'll take some damage from Kambal, but then Ironcrag Pyromancer starts to do their thing. Also, Chemball is a potential fatal push target here. So we'll go one ring, take our damage. That's fine, and then we will, I guess, play into the Bowmasters on next turn. Actually, I think I will draw here, just in case they do play it. Could definitely see it happening in that deck. Seems sort of control-like. We get to deal 3 damage, probably to the Chemball here, since Misery's Shadow is fatal pushable. And like that, we are off to the races. So we have Fatal Push into Snapcaster, Fatal Push on the following turn, and then all the while the One Ring's going to refill our hand and trigger Pyromancer. So if they kill Ironcrag at any point, we will kill their... Okay, well they can gain life here. I'm fine to just take some damage. I don't think that they have anything with Misery's Shadow here. Plus we do have the One Ring. Alright, so we'll take some damage here. I say that we go ahead and start with a Fatal Push. Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be a Fatal Push. I will draw. We would like to hit another Black Mana Source. Here is some damage that we can do to Misery's Shadow. We'll take some damage here, but then that doesn't really help me with Fatal Push. Okay, a little awkward. Orcish Bowmasters is a thing. We'll do this. I believe we can counter the activated ability here with Tishana's Tidebinder. We'd like to make Sheoldred lose its ability to end the turn. We will counter the Sheoldred, or one of the Sheoldred triggers. Okay. And now Sheoldred doesn't do anything for us. We do get our next draw. And there's another Pyromancer for us here. I think this is not worth shocking for. And we can kill Misery's Shadow on our following turn, or on our opponent's end step, or something like that. So fine pass. They'll now need to Legend Rule their Sheoldred if they want to start taxing me. Borrowed Time coming down. Unfortunate. That kills my draw engine. That is interesting. Alright, well, they'll take my Basilisk Collar. I'm fine with my One Ring so far. We can go for double Pyromancer next turn now, which is great. So they want to give that lifelink. I think we will definitely attempt to kill it. And then Sheoldred is now just a 4 damage creature that does hurt, but is worse than us taking damage through the One Ring. I say that we don't block here and try to get a trade with Tishana's Tidebinder and it. We can also just Orcish Bowmasters and have a easy blocker. Go to 6, so Flame of Anor does kill Sheoldred. I think that I do need to activate ability here and go for the draw. We are just going to go for the face here. Deal some damage. I say that we drop 1 Ironcrag at some point, but we don't have the extra land to do so. We can go Bowmasters plus Flame of Anor. I think what I'll do is Ironcrag Pyromancer. If they end up finding their Sheoldred, we'll have to Flame of Anor later, but we'll start with the Pyromancer. Then we will Bowmasters to create a blocker for Sheoldred, and this Tishana's Tidebinder does get in. End turn. I want to set up a Snapcaster Mage on Sheoldred eventually. Passivism on my Tishana's Tidebinder indicates that they can't deal with it very well, which is great for me. We have Sheoldred lifelink, which sucks for me, but it is not the end of the world. Let's wait for the attack. We'll put a Bowmasters in front. Ping opponent for 1, make a token. And we will throw that token under the bus. Pass and block. They gain some life, but I think now with our draws and the One Ring, we are very, very close. However, we do need to find a Sheoldred, otherwise we die. That's a bolt. We can put a second Pyromancer out. That does not cast a Sheoldred, but actually neither does any of our mana, which is awkward. So that just means that we need to be able to push damage very quickly. We get 9 right now. And that combined with the Orcish Bowmasters means that we will be just dealing enough damage in our upkeep to not die to the One Ring. They go to 10 here. We have another backup bolt here. Grave will just be put in tapped, I think, at this point.
I could have shocked in, go to 1. It is what it is. I think that we will just hold some lightning bolts. And I think I discard some Snapcaster Mages here. We attack in for here. That puts them to 9. That is lethal if we get our turn back and untap with the 1 ring. Actually, if we were to shock here, I could have won in their upkeep with a Flame of Venor, triggering my 3 Pyromancers. So little misplay. We are getting there slightly slower now, which is awkward. We have to discard 2 cards, which will be those Snapcaster Mages. They are not really much use to us currently with our mana being tied up. I'll make sure to set a stop in my upkeep so that we can try to win the game. They actually need to just kill a Pyromancer. That is sneakily the best way to win this game here. However, they don't know that we have Lightning Bolts, so I'm feeling pretty solid. We just have to avoid direct damage to us. And really, it's just all up to opponent here. They get to decide the way that this game ends. Looking at Shieldred here, I think they attack in, trying to gain some life with it. We will definitely make our block. Oh no, we'll just Edict them. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature now. Resolve, and they gotta sack their Shieldred. Hopefully they don't have another one, but they definitely would have Legend Ruled by now if that were the case. So no Heliod lifelink here. We'll move to their end step. Wrath of God, destroying all creatures, and do we win? I think we have to, in our upkeep, find a 3rd Lightning Bolt. Let's see if we can do it. So with that on the stack here, this will be the 1 ring draw. We need exactly Lightning Bolt here. So close, that ain't it. Let's show them, oh wait, no, actually we have exactly enough. We put 2 bolts, and then the final Snapcaster Mage flashes back a bolt. Right, was about ready to concede there. Forgot that we have a deck that is very, very overlaid in terms of the abilities that it has here. With our final red mana, that is the last Lightning Bolt before we die to our 1 ring trigger. Okay, cool. You know, the lines exist, and it's up to us to find them. Great victory here. That's round 2 out of the way. Here comes round 3. Here we go. Alright, this is round 3. Definitely a big fan of good deck building. As you can see with this deck, there's a lot of ways to find percentage points where you might not necessarily feel like you have them. This hand just is functioning off of Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster Mage. We eventually get our 1 ring, but I'm not sure that we want to start out like this. I'll give it a try. I think having 7 cards is more important. We will find a Surveil land here and set up for Basilisk Collar. Okay, maybe we want to actually get something that produces red here. Alright, so let's make sure that we get the red-blue Surveil land. Where did that go? Thundering Falls, that's the one. We get the Surveil here, and we do want to have a Lightning Bolt to deal with all their small creatures, and just like that, we are kind of set up, honestly. Put that in tap, save some life, and get ready to murder their creature at combat. Valakut Stoneforge here, okay. And that's a Lightning Bolt to the face here. We will make sure to kill their creature, and that Lightning Bolt ends up being just 3 damage instead of representing 5 with their board. We will continue to put out some slow lands, and I think we're going to hold up the Snapcaster Mage just in case, but I do want to get Basilisk Collar onto the battlefield at some point. So, let's see what comes next from them. Could be Wizards. Sometimes you see these little aggro decks like this have these non-wizard aggressive creatures, but it looks like it's just going to be kind of just some Izzet aggro. Bone Crusher Giant is not a huge problem. Looks like they just pass. We will take 2 damage here to just remove a 4 toughness threat, and hey, that is a win right there. Actually, looking at their companion here, that was probably just some brew built around the odd CMC deck, or the odd CMC synergy of Obosh. I think because that was so quick, let's just do another round here. Not that playing a control deck is going to give us a quick league in general, but I think that was
kind of a quick forfeit out of the opponent. So let's get one more game in here for round 2. Here we go with the replay. A lot of lands in this one. I think that I don't want it for that reason. We have Ironcrag and the One Ring plus a Bowmasters. I like that hand. We'll get rid of Duplicate One Ring and start off here. Early Surveil, we'll have to set up a Brainstorm. Undercity Sewers is actually just solid. Now we fixed all of our colors and we're looking good. Opponent leads on green. What are we playing against? Bushwhack. They're using that just to ramp. This is not finding any sort of scary card that's going to kill me with lands. I found my 4th land, so that is good for me. We do need that for One Ring, so we'll set up this Brainstorm at some point. They don't give me any reason to hold on the Brainstorm, so I think I probably just fire it off and get that Watery Grave into hand. But honestly, because I need it, I'm going to just pump the brakes here. So let's start with holding up these 2 spells. I could play Ironcrag Pyromancer into something, but the way that the sequencing is going to work up here is on 4 mana, I play the One Ring. I can technically get an immediate trigger off of Pyromancer, which now that I'm talking about it, I think I do want to do. But to kind of illustrate what I'm thinking, the 2 choices that we have is play Ironcrag before One Ring and make sure that the turn that the One Ring comes down, we get our trigger. Or it's just to make sure that we play One Ring first, and then the next turn we can for sure have our Pyromancer stick around and get that trigger off of the 2 draw that we get. I've made my decision here. This will be Ironcrag Pyromancer now. And looks like opponent will read it as they're unfamiliar. Time to decide if they are a elf deck or some sort of ramp deck, or maybe some third thing that I can't conceive. Just some Archdruid stuff. This is Venerated Rot Priest. Okay. Gotta watch out for a combo kill, but being able to One Ring right now sounds pretty enticing. I say go here. This means that I can draw my card now, get my trigger. We'll skip triggering on my opponent's next turn, but after that, we get to One Ring in like main phase or something, and then Brainstorm afterwards on our opponent's turn, so we'll get double triggers, and for that reason, it's great that we drew the second Pyromancer. Venerated Rot Priest, that is something that we did expect to see at some point, but I'm thinking that it dies pretty quickly here with Ironcrag Pyromancer. Now, it's very good that we have damage based off of our permanent's triggered abilities, because we are not targeting this thing with a spell. So as long as they don't make it super tough, we should be okay. They want to make the Rot Priest big. How interesting. Ah, they want to fight. Okay. Well, it's a good thing that we drew that second Pyromancer here. We can target with Flame of Anor, but I think that we'll just go ahead for the Ironcrag Pyromancer. I'm going to pay an extra life here just in case Bowmasters ends up being relevant. There is a Pyromancer. Here is a One Ring activation. Draw 2. We will target Venerated Rot Priest. It is not a spell, so they get no poison counters. And great. They'll get some redraws here, which I should have punished with Bowmasters. But maybe that means that I can just play Basilisk Caller and set up Pyromancer, because this is a bucket list thing for me to do. Here's another Rot Priest. We know that we can deal with that. Kind of happy that I'm saving this Brainstorm now. If they suit things up with more draw card enchantments, then I will probably go ahead and try to get this Bowmaster set up next turn. It's just March, so they're going to try to find another Rot Priest. Well, we will say no to that and Brainstorm. Let's get our 3 cards. The cards that we want to go back is probably Bloodstained Mire for 1, and then what don't we want to keep out of all this? Probably this other basic, honestly. We'll put the Bloodstained Mire on top. Target the Rot Priest here, and things are looking good. That'll fizzle their March. We do take the one from the March target, though, as well. Well, we are in a great situation here. I'm going to equip Basilisk Caller next turn, and we have Brainstorm plus One Ring to just absolutely go ham. Should be smooth sailing from here. We also do have 3 mana, so that we get Counterspell held up. I cannot see a way in which we do not come out on top here. We're looking at Basilisk Caller here, possibly having some sort of disenchant effect. I'll believe it when I see it, though. Possibly they're just going to AFK the rest of this out.
Could just be a brain drain kind of, I'm going to check this deck out and copy, which copy is always the biggest form of flattery, as they say. Let's go for Bloodstained Mire and then into our one ring draw. Unfortunately, not going to be able to have the Basilisk Collar equip here, but essentially we have achieved what we wanted. Super awesome round 2. Here comes round 3. Okay, you weren't going crazy. I was the one that miscounted. This is round 4 coming up now. The last one was round 3. A lot of ways to draw cards here, not a lot of payoffs. We also don't have red for Flame of Anor. Otherwise, this is a really good hand, though, so I think I'll keep it. Bowmasters and Brainstorm, just things I want to have around, honestly. Hopeless Nightmare making us discard. I'd love to keep Basilisk Collar, but it's not the one that we want right now. We'll go Watery Grave tapped, set up for a shocked Bowmasters next turn, and then we get to decide between Brainstorm and Bowmasters. Saves me more in the way of life. We have a case here. So what do they need to do? They need to unsuspect all these skeletons. So either it is lose or sacrifice a creature. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they just want to sacrifice a creature. Makes sense. Let's get all of our colors online, unless I want to hold up a counter spell, so we actually want to shop like that, and we'll say go. I want to see what they play here. I'm pretty much feeling like Bowmastering this token. We'll wait for them to produce some mana here. I think... Let's see, am I going to be sad about having this thing? This just basically makes mana. Yeah, this is fine. I can kill that thing later. Looks like they just want to kill their little creature here. Okay, well, now that they're going to make this bigger, I will go ahead and do the Orcish Bowmasters on it. Perfect. Now that they have their case solved, they will need to actually pay the mana into it, which they cannot yet. Hopeless Nightmare is what it is, honestly. We'll get rid of a land. And sure, that's solved. Fatal Push can take care of the life of Umezawa, or Toshiro Umezawa. Maybe we just Blood Crypt here. That is enough for Fatal Push plus Counterspell. Makes me feel pretty solid in my life total. We'll have to watch that life total, though, because if we get into a situation where they punish our drawing capabilities, then we will not be happy. Could be Shieldred this turn. I want to just make sure that I play around it. They do get to kill my Bowmasters here, which just kind of feels bad. It's okay. And we pass. They have 4 mana. Is it Shieldred? Not a Shieldred. That's fine. A little bit of life drain indicates I might want to be a little bit careful about that. Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and search. That's fine. I can't prevent that. Not an Aven Mind Sensor deck. Ichor Drinker. This is fine. And I guess I will take my draws here. Flame of Anor is better used as a removal spell for now. We will Brainstorm. 1, 2, 3. We can shuffle something away with Mire, so we'll basically make that our draw for next turn. And do I want Fatal Pushes, Bolts? I mean, we have a lot of things that I am happy to get rid of. I think Counterspell can go away. I think we will want to shuffle that for now. And I guess it may just be the case that I Fatal Push here in this situation. Just clear the board. Allow me to deal a little bit of damage. They do get to incubate too, which is awkward, but we can kill that no problem. Alright, we draw. We probably fetch a Surveil land. We'll make sure that it is the Izzet one. There's Thundering Falls. And we find an Ironcrag Pyromancer that will be on top. I suppose we just hold till next turn, trying to keep this Flame of Anor around. This costs them how much? Just 1 mana, okay. And I do need to spend a little bit of time here dealing with these flippers. Corpses of the Lost, fine. Not all these are skeletons, which is nice. Gonna probably want to kill this skeleton pirate, I'd say. Yep. And I guess if they attack here, we do kill. Let's do that now. And then, yeah, you know what, let's just empty the hand. Alright. Will they put it back to their hand? They will. Here's our Pyromancer, and it will just have to stay still for a little bit. We're keeping this guy back to block in case they produce something big, or if we need to menace a large creature. Basically, we just want to keep Iron Crag around for Flame of Honor to go off. Corpses of the Lost comes back. Yep, that's a thing. And I guess they just want to be looping this and making a big skeleton army. Alright, we do get to draw here. This is great. Flame of Honor will use main phase to try to find a land drop that will activate Snapcaster Mage as just a blocker. We could destroy our Phyrexian artifact deal here. I think I want to deal with the current situation that we got going on. So, I will draw. We will deal damage to the thing that has a mana cost. And let's put some damage towards that guy. Do hit the Polluted Delta. We will hold it for now. And I will pass. Probably could have attacked in, but another Flame of Honor in hand feels good. We now unlock Snapcaster into Flame of Honor. We've got it. More tokens. More tokens. Yep. We go down to 8. Things start to get a little scary at this point. We are definitely in a situation where this trade is nice for us. Hopefully Iron Crag doesn't get moved. Okay, cool. Yep, they get to search for something. Propose Polluted Delta will go to 7. Just want to thin and find our items. We have our final Surveil land in the deck here going off. Let's do that. Flame of Honor again is great. Move to turn. Yeah, we'll just Flame of Honor on their turn once they play something. Okiba Beckoner Raid is really the only way that they're dealing damage to us right now. They will activate their case, go find a card. Maybe it's just more Corpses of the Lost. It is good synergy between this and the case here. I do enjoy seeing that. And was definitely trying to make Corpses of the Lost work. This was, I think, the first thing that I took note of when these spoilers came out. And Cult Conscript, they're just going for some of the cheap reanimating skeletons. Not sure if it's the way that I'd build mono black, but definitely proving to be kind of annoying. Here goes Corpses of the Lost. They'll just try to use that back again. Here goes Flame of Honor. Let's destroy an artifact this time and draw some cards. Kill that. And we get to deal damage to the Cult Conscript. And nice, another Iron Crag Pyromancer. This is when we start to go off. I will move to my turn. Another Polluted Delta is not great. And we will need to find a basic here. There is our final basic. 1 Iron Crag leaves us just enough mana for Flame of Honor. Perfect. No attacks, say go. And so now we just go for Flame of Honor and loop it with Snapcaster Mage, and we try to kill them before they kill us. We have 5 life to work with. We've seen how many Okiba Beckoner raids? Just 1. That honestly seems like fewer than I've seen. And it's not because any are in exile. Okay. There's another Okiba Beckoner raid. Would kind of like to get rid of that, and I don't think I have a counter spell in the graveyard. Right, I bottomed that one. Well, that's going to happen. We get a little drain here. They can attack. Not going to matter. Alright, and let's just go ahead and Flame of Honor 1-2. target me to draw 2. Let's deal with the bigger guy. Trigger, trigger. Alright, now we're chipping away at that life total. Move to my turn. Blood Crypt comes in tapped. And we have Snapcaster into Flame of Venor. No attacks, say go. And it is just little by little here that we go for this. So Kiba Beck and Raid is now going to put us to 1 life. That's 3 out of 4 of those cards. Things are going to get a little spicy. We might need to race towards the end. That's the second Corpses of the Lost, which is a little scary, but these skeletons are tiny, so it doesn't matter. Don't care that that thing's going to attack. We go in with Snapcaster Mage. So we're going to snap back Flame of Venor. 5 damage to creature, target player draws 2 cards. Easy enough. Want to make sure that this Snapcaster Mage can still attack. And that's 6 damage to opponent. We're basically 6 a turn, so this is a 2-turn clock, or a 3-turn clock, sorry, from here. No, 2-turn because Snapcaster can attack. Alright, and now this is Brainstorm as well, so we should be able to kill them on their turn. Let's move in with Snapcaster Mage. Here is just a land that's untapped. Here is Brainstorm. 1, 2, 3, there we go. 2 cards back will be a land and Bloodstained Mire to shuffle away. We'll go 1, 2. Draw, draw. Here we go to face. And that's 5 damage, so with them tapped out, here's Snapcaster Mage. Oh my god, that's not how this is supposed to work. We can put them to 2 with Lightning Bolt. Does that wouldn't leave me enough mana to kill them in their upkeep, so we'll just do Lightning Bolt, not cast it, stop in their upkeep, and then go Snapcaster for what we actually meant to do. They can respond any way they want. It's fine. I think even though I've pretty much almost through here by trying to double trigger my Ironcrag Pyromancers, we are still going to make it. Target me, kill our bad Snapcaster Mage, and that should be lethal. I think they're looking for something to kill here. Hopeless Nightmare can be activated, you got it. That seems like that's their only action. Alright, they can just go ahead and sack that strike too, sure. Just a little bit of visibility into what would have happened next turn, and we get our 6 damage off here. I would assume. Actually, a Fatal Push would kill Ironcrag Pyromancer, but I think we are going to get it. Perfect. Trigger, trigger, both to face. Alright, definitely not the most clean one, but as I get more reps with this deck, you can definitely see the strengths of it. That's 4th round. Here comes the 5th and final one. Stick with me here, and we have 1 more to go. Here it comes. Alright, final round coming up. We've had success in the past with Snapcaster Mages just rebuying a bunch of spells. That's definitely going to continue to be the case here as we have Brainstorm plus Polluted Delta to kind of get card advantage. I think this is a fine keep. Alright, here's Watery Grave. I'm going to put it in tapped and cast this Brainstorm on my 2nd turn. I'll then be able to think about Orcish Bowmasters. And here is a Polluted Delta. I will probably just pass here. I'd like to hold Bowmasters up in case my opponent is antsy on the Brainstorm. We'll say go. Here comes that. That can happen. We'll pass. I'd like to see them Brainstorm here. It is a Shocked Watery Grave indicating Bowmasters. Glimpse the Unthinkable, so they just want to mill me. That means that I will want to probably put pressure on the board. So maybe we grab a red source. Nope, can't grab a red source. We can get either black or blue. I'll take blue here. And then we maybe just put 2 power on the board here. They want to mill me out. I will deal damage to you until you're dead. Let's see who's faster. This has just made Snapcaster Mage really good, assuming we draw lands. A lot of draws to happen here. I will brainstorm first, looking for a way to shuffle away. And what do we want to get rid of? Counterspell could be good once I have mana. I think I'll get rid of one land and one of my many Snapcaster Mages. Boom. Let's put the mage on top. And here is our polluted delta to shuffle away. We'll then decide if we want to commit to the board with Snapcaster Mage at the expense of life, which I am almost certainly thinking that I want to do. If they play something annoying mill-wise, then we have Counterspell to quell that, and this is looking like a solid setup. We also then have double snap into Counterspell, which is great. Shock in here. I hope they tap out. It's just Fatal Push. That's fine. Like that they're spending time on that rather than milling me. Maddening Cacophony. That's just 8 cards. Not the most efficient that they get there. I get to move to my turn here. I think that I want to make sure that this is an untapped land. I'm probably just shocking here, making sure that I have all my colors. And we'll just get a naked Snapcaster Mage in. 3 damage a turn. We have a lot of cards left in the library. We are pretty functional. This will be just a tapped land. We have Counterspell Fatal Push, else Snapcaster Mage, else Brainstorm. Opponent's at 9. We can probably put a 2-turn clock on the battlefield here next turn and feel pretty good about things. Counterspell really slows them down here with only 3 lands. Ruin Crab probably gets Fatal Pushed here. They get to go ahead and do that. They're gonna get 6 lands here. It's fine. We'll hold this. I mean, even if I were to cast Fatal Push, like, they would just mill me anyway. Let's see if they play a spell. They do not. So they just want that thing to be able to block. We'll Ruin Crab here. They'll crack off their Bloodstained Mire. Yep. We are down to 26 cards. We are pretty darn healthy here. I think that's all of our Ironcrag Pyromancers in the bin. They're going to drown in the lock. We will Counterspell. Resolve all. And they'll need Spell Pierce. Don't have Spell Pierce. Good. Unless. No, we're good. Okay, perfect. This makes me think that Snapcaster Mage plus Counterspell is going to be a great next turn to have. Oh, and we just draw another Snapcaster Mage. This is absolutely perfect. We actually are 1 mana off of Snap Counterspell. Alright, so that means that Brainstorm is going to need to be found for my... Or that's going to be needed to find another blue source. Fatal Push comes down. Yeah, I guess that is what it is. I'm debating Snapcaster Mage or Snap plus Fatal Push. I can actually do Snap, Brainstorm, Fatal Push. So that means that if they play another Ruin Crab, I can deal with that. Okay. So this is not terrible. We will end turn here. We just can't deal with a counter, or with a big mill spell. They're going to put something back on top. So that means I need to set up my blue mana source here. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Sure, let's go Brainstorm. Perfect, actually, with the 1 ring here. So what do I want to draw? I don't need 2 Snapcaster Mages yet, and then the other one that I have doesn't really matter. We'll put Ironcrag on top. That's all we got to make sure that we do. So that will be on top. And then I could just 1 ring. Okay, so we mill 10. That puts me half to death. I think I do need to 1 ring here. We'll use that life total. make sure that we draw our card. We attack in. Next turn, we draw some cards, play Ironcrag Pyromancer. Glimpse is just going to be... Glimpse is eventually going to hit us. That's the only thing that we can really understand here. Here's a Shieldred. That's good for us. Here's the One Ring. And this almost kills our opponent, right? 6 damage. We haven't drawn 2 cards. Pretty much unless that's Drown in the Lock, I think we're good. We'll try to bait a Drown in the Lock. I didn't see any hold of priority, so I think I can just go ahead and attempt a Lightning Bolt. And attempt another Lightning Bolt. Alright, nice. Made it in round 5. Kind of just playing a lot of our low CMC, very efficient spells won us the game. I'll go ahead and give kudos once again to Bosch and Roll and his build of this deck, and to whoever he initially sourced this deck from. Was a whole lot of fun here, and I'm glad that I got to play it for you guys. Once again, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and do comment on the deck. Let me know what you've been thinking. Absolutely fun one. The deck list will be in the description as always. Make sure to check it out. This has been Ironcrag Control, and I've been FullControlMTG. Thank you for checking me out today, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy.